to like everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All You Can Eat Chelsea. We're live again, episode 230. Yeah, man. Last time we were all here, we had the Bayern Munich fixture lined up for us, and things were looking good. Things were looking fantastic, and we had such high hopes. And here we are, a week later, and things are not looking that great. Matisse, how you doing, brother?
Not too bad, brother. Recovering. I'm recovering. I'm starting to think about Lincoln now, which is tonight, and I'm actually hopefully looking forward to just a fresh team, fresh players, before I forgive some of the other ones for what they've done to us. And the manager. I mean, maybe the assistant manager can take this game as well. Just you lot will just take a week off, man. Don't want to see you right now.
Do you know what? Now, I like the approach that you want to take, but newsflash for you, I'm going to be very angry in this show, and I'm pretty sure it's only going to anger you. It's going to trigger you off. I know you had DR, I know you had Big Six, and you've talked about it, but bro, the stuff I'm about to say, I think it's going to trigger you as well, and you're going to let loose, and you're going to fly off as well. I know it. Javon, brother, how you doing?
Life-wise, I'm doing well. Football-wise, I just recovered yesterday. Because much like Matisse, I'm on other shows, and I was the one that had the most hatred for out of all of you guys. I was the one talking the most smoke. So for them to disappoint me in both games like they did, bro, it's hard to just sit there. What can I do? I can't defend this team. Just have to sit there on the shows and have people yell at me and people make false accusations and people being disingenuous and whatnot and carry on. So it is what it is. Let's get into the show. I can't even formulate a proper sentence.
Man's talking halfway through. He realized life sucks, Miz, just go to Eunice. Eunice, bro, we missed you last week, but wow, What a way to come back.
No, not a way to come back. Really?
Yeah, not a way to come back. Brother, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, but I still can't process that we lost to United. Like, we lost to United. We know what the issues were. We know we're going to go through it all, but I still can't believe we went to Old Trafford and lost 2-1. Like, that's, yeah. It is a really, really, really bad night. And now we got Lincoln. Even Maresca didn't fill us with confidence in the press conference. He was talking about how there's a potential banana skin against Lincoln. I'm like, no, brother, you need to stop.
He's doing too much again. He's doing too much again.
Relax.
He's doing too much again.
No, we can't be having another Grimsby repeat over here. No. So yeah, but I'm gutted at the fact that we do like it's in the chat now. We need to wait 14 years to potentially win at Old Trafford now. I mean, this needs to stop, man.
It's disgusting. You know what? Look, big up to everyone in the live chat. Don will be here. He's just running a bit late. He's got a meeting, so that's why he's running late. Let's get this going. Look, I generally, since Matisse has handed over the show to me, I generally like to take a little bit of step back and see what you guys have to say, and then throw in my 2 cents. Today, I want to kick things off because I'm disturbed. I don't feel good, and I don't want to do this again because I thought, you know what the crazy thing is, lads. You get told off on the comment section when you are critical about the team. And then you get told off when you are positive about the team and you're feeling that, do you know what? We're going somewhere. I'm believing in this team. I don't care what happened in the transfer window. Yes. Not that long ago, I told Matisse, where you guys were all here, that I look at it as half full as opposed to half empty. I didn't want to focus on too much of the negative things that has happened because I felt there's a lot more positive. I want to go into this season. I want to back these lot because I feel like over the last 4 to 5 months, they've given me something to back them about. But here it is again. They want to start this foolish behavior, this foolery, this cowardness. I'm getting very, very annoyed, man. I was going in that Bayern Munich game with so much excitement. We are back into the Champions League. The lads made it. They worked so hard last season in the final third, and they qualified for the Champions League. They won the Club World Cup, the Conference League, whatever. They should be buzzing to play Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena. Lads, what a stadium. What a effing stadium that is. Wow. Look at the crowd. Look at this. And then I see players going for a stroll. They're jogging. They're just no intensity, no energy. When you look at that Bayern Munich team, sure, great, lovely, front set of players, but everything else, we should be there. No problems. You made a big mockery of yourself. No problems. First game back in the Champions League, no problems. United. We've got United to look after, look forward to, and we're going to change things around. 4 minutes. 4 minutes is all you gave me. That's what she said. 4 minutes.
Crazy.
Do you know that feeling? I'm getting old. I know that feeling.
Man needs more stamina.
I know that feeling. When my missus goes, oh my days, this 4 minutes.
It's better than most.
No
man.
problems.
No, I'm trying
Do
to
you know
take it
what?
serious. Can you not?
No problems. You screwed up. You
Decent.
screwed up.
Big up, John. It's decent.
You screwed up. You screwed up. But then my manager also said, you know what? We give up. We give up. My goalkeeper's gone. We're a man down. I don't have any more plans. I give up as well. Within 7 minutes, my entire attack was decimated. I didn't have anyone else besides João Pedro. João Pedro ran his socks off without anyone for support. And then it got even worse, Cole Palmer injury. And then I thought, do you know what? No problems. No problems. I love this team so much. I back this team so much. I believe in them so much. No problems. Halftime, my gaffer is going to talk to these people and we're going to change things. After halftime, it was even worse. It was as if I rather had the match finish at halftime. I didn't even want to see the second half. So here we are. I don't want to do this again, man. Under this ownership, under these sporting directors, for the first time, I thought, you know what? Maybe, just maybe. I don't want to be upset. I don't want to be angry. I want to feel happy. Here we are. I can't even be bothered about Lincoln City, even though I should be, because I don't know what's going to happen now. I thought that was just an easy victory, but I'm not sure anymore. I'm worried about Brighton again. I'm worried about Benfica with Jose Mourinho returning back. He's on some smoke over there already with Benfica. Before you know it, the season's going to disappear in front of our eyes. I see my brother Matisse go to Big Six and Grizz just talking down on Chelsea. Chelsea are nobody. I'm fed up, man. Matisse, bro, I'm fed up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very frustrating because there's so many layers to it once again. But directly, the manager this week and the defenders, especially the individual errors, has just been incredible to watch. Truly incredible. Some of the defending I've seen. This is defending, by the way, that was never visible in that run that we had. In that Fulham to Club World Cup, even if you want to extend it to Fulham, and then obviously the international break happens, the defending has just, I mean, Fulham I'm actually going to take off because Tosin for the goal that was disallowed was basically doing what he's doing the last week. So let me just move that one out of the way. But we haven't seen these defenders defend like this. We know that they're not world class. We know that they're not elite. We know that they're not A-sides. We know they're not Van Dijks and Gabriels or Salibas and whatever. And we know Levi Cole was a massive miss. But I'm sorry, and this is not me trying to have a get out clause, because I understand that the defenders need to be better. But like I said, the logic is when you have 6 defenders and you can't sell at least 2 of those, I'm not expecting one to come in. What I am seeing is Nkuku leave. What I am seeing is Jackson leave. What I am seeing is Mudryk suspended. What I am seeing is Sancho leave. So my logic, my train of thought is make sure that you're seriously upgrading those attackers that are 100% leaving. João Felix, record sales. Make sure that those sales you're upgrading significantly, not just sideways steps, significant upgrades. And the defense maybe gets sorted out next summer because you're not selling Badiashile, because you haven't sold Fofana, because you haven't sold Disasi. You're not selling Sanchez, or you're not bringing in the goalkeeper, Mike Maignan. But again, that's the deeper side of it. That's the recruitment. That's the recruitment in the summer starting very well, then starting to become questionable with 55 million for Gittins, who doesn't come off the bench. We had 95 million pounds worth of winger, didn't come off the bench at Old Trafford. We're bringing on we're bringing on the player that we were trying to sell to Fulham on deadline day, and because the fax machine broke, he didn't go. Yeah. we got Guy on that bench, the only striker outside of Pedro now available for the next 8-9 weeks. Don't panic. A lot of people are saying. I am going to panic about the striker situation before it even happens, because this manager doesn't trust Guy. When people get that through their heads, they'll realize just how run down João Pedro is going to be at the end of all this. God forbid he gets a knock, which I think he's already carrying. Cole Palmer on a knock. Cole Palmer on a knock, but we didn't get another 10. Or we did, but he's on loan from Brighton, and I don't know where he's gone now because he wasn't on the bench either. When we were meant to be getting Simmons, we were meant to be getting Fermin Lopez. It was never going to happen. We did not upgrade significantly in these positions to make sure that we give this manager no excuses. That's what I said in my Eunice. Remember, you were live and I uploaded "We failed," and the whole comments gone crazy. We're giving the manager excuses again. This season was meant to be, the manager is already new to Champions League. The manager's already new to 2 games a week. The manager's already new to 10 men, to rotations. He's already going to make mistakes. This is guaranteed. Guaranteed. The very bare minimum you can do is give him no excuse with the playing squad. Don't let me see players coming off that bench that are not equipped to get us back into games. The manager against Old Trafford threw the match. He threw the game. I've seen teams with 10 men. I've seen us try to break down teams with 10 men. There was no way we needed to throw that game the way we did.
Matisse, Newcastle recently against Liverpool, 10 men.
Then he came back and got a result, right?
They did come back, no?
Yeah, they did, 2-2. And obviously the last minute winner. There was no need to throw that game. But it's disappointing, because the reason why I'm so angry is not even just because it's been a bad week. It can be a bad week. I still think we can beat Brighton. I still think we can beat Lincoln. And Liverpool, I'm not thinking about right now until we do those 2 things, because Liverpool is a whole different ballgame. However, what really makes me annoyed is the future. I can see the future. So I can see these loanees at Strasbourg and Sporting doing very well for themselves. I can see the key spine issues that we still have in the team: goalkeeper, centre-back, left wing, striker. I can see now that they're not going to rectify these issues with players that are going to take this team to the next level next summer. They're going to either use the players that come back from loan, that are 18, 19 years old, that are not ready to be consistent, which means we cannot win the title next season going on like this. Not just this season. You think Liverpool don't have Isak and Ekitike next season? In fact, they're even more comfortable next season because they're in their 2nd season, and others. We cannot win the league until we start taking these positions seriously. We all had our transfer videos. None of them involved Gittins. None of them involved Garnacho. And even Liam Delap. Even Liam Delap is not Diego fucking Costa, right? None of it involved these individuals for very good reason. Because we all know that with those additions that we're talking about, we can be in a title race, because we do have top players. This is not a time to sit here and feel sorry for ourselves. Oh, we don't have any good players. We have fucking Caicedo. Do Do you understand how much of a baller this guy is? We have Cole Palmer. We have
But
João
you know what's
Pedro.
happening, Matisse? People don't rate us anymore. People don't rate us anymore. They go with shit.
João Pedro was absolutely tremendous. And they get full credit for bringing him in. He's showing just how good he is. And I think he'd show even how much better he is if he played behind a striker, crashed the box in Enzo Fernandez's position, and got more touches of the ball. That's what I think. But that's irrelevant now because we ain't got another striker. And if Cole Palmer's injured, what a beautiful luxury it would be able to be to say, do you know what? We didn't get that 10, but we sure as hell did get another striker. So João Pedro can play in Cole Palmer's position. But again, null and void because we only need 2 strikers. But we've got James, we've got Cucurella. And what makes me sick is these players are ready to perform at the highest level and they keep getting dragged down by players that are not. And it's all la-di-da, ha-ha. It's not funny because these people are getting older. They're in their prime, some of them. They're in their prime. Reece James, this is the prime time. This is Cucurella's prime time you're wasting. This is Cole Palmer's prime time before he starts picking up so many knocks and injuries that he starts to feel away. This is people's prime time you're wasting. So I'm not gonna just sit there and just smile and wave about it. People are talking about the striker in Kazakhstan. He looks really good. Is he not 17 though?
Yeah.
I can't put pressure on these people to be in a title race next season. Should be in a title race now. Next season we have to be. Otherwise, them new contracts that just signed for Winstanley and Stewart, they need ripping up. We signed them on a new contract because what? Let the thing marinate first, would you please, before we give out new contracts for these people. Bro, I'm not impressed, bro, because for me, it's like we keep finding ourselves in situations where it's like 3 or 4 things we need to do. We don't get it done. And then we're like, oh, we'll do it next time. No, do it now.
Yeah.
Do it now. Simple. It's not hard. It's very, very simple. But there will be reasons and restrictions. And I'm sure next year there'll be BMW, there'll be BBL, there'll be FFP, MP4, there'll be POV, there'll be MSN, NBC, ABC. There'll be all of these excuses. There'll be some other restriction as to why we can't do what we need to do. That's what I'm waiting for. Because, boy, that's all we get. We just get restricted. Every summer. Last summer it was PSR. This summer it's UEFA. Next summer will be FIFA. I'm fucking tired.
Well, no, actually, the just a quick one. The settlement, I think, is a 3-year settlement, is it not?
Oh, so we're 3 years gonna have to part with these windows.
Yeah.
Quality.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, actually, let me look that up because I have to make sure.
And now Maresca's cussing them out publicly. So if he doesn't stop, he'd be in trouble.
I want to talk about Maresca in detail as well, but Javon, go for it, bro. What do you have to say?
I mean, listen, I'm trying to keep my composure here because you guys started from Bayern Munich. I'm going all the way back to Brentford, right? Like some of the substitutions, when you talk about the substitution, the tactics.
That's true.
Again, and he keeps making one strange substitution in Tyreek George. This brother does nothing when he comes onto the pitch. I know guys want to protect him because he's from Cobham. They call him the evil Saka. I call him the black Saka. Listen, this man does nothing when he comes onto the pitch, right? So I don't know why you keep trying to play him. I'd rather you throw Mark Yu up there to see what he can do. But I leave that for Dan when Dan comes in. I leave that for Dan when Dan comes in. Against Bayern Munich, boys, and I'm going to speak from how I see the game. Against Bayern Munich, at times we were the better teams against Bayern. We were the better team against Bayern Munich, playing wise. At times I saw we cut through the Bayern Munich defense, but 3 mistakes cost us 3 goals. And here's what. I can accept a defeat against Bayern Munich in the Allianz Arena. I can accept a defeat like that because I think we played well. Cole Palmer came back with a goal. I can accept that defeat. And even then, I can still critique the manager for his substitutions. I can critique the manager for some of the defenders he keeps playing even when they make a mistake. What's wrong with Josh Achempong? Why can't he get a proper chance? If your senior defenders are acting horribly, why can't Josh get a proper chance? No. I'm not going to dwell on the Bayern Munich game too much because, again, Matisse covered majority of what the issues are. for everyone who's subscribed to my channel and for everyone who's watched my content, Manchester, and I said this on the last episode, I don't care what happens, losing against Manchester United is unacceptable. I said straight up, Maresca out. And here's why, right? So let's take away the feelings. Let's take away the agendas. Let's take... at the time, you can say I'm being reactionary. At the time, you can say whatever, this, that, and the third. But let's look at this logically, right, boys? Does anyone know what Manchester United track record was under Amorim coming into this match? I'll tell you. It was 8 in 31. What does mean? That simply means he won 8 matches in 31 Premier League games. We made it 9 in 32. Hold on, I'm not done. Do you know that this man is averaging 1 win a month coming into this game? Hold on, I'm not done. Ruben Amorim has broken every horrible record for Manchester United in his first stint here. He's not even been a year yet. Hold on, I am not done. We went into that game with a better track record than Manchester United. No, you're telling me my manager, I'm supposed to calm down and say this properly. This man comes to Old Trafford. Within 5 minutes, you lost a goalkeeper to a red card. Anyone can go down to 10 men in this sport that we play simply because it's a contact sport and it's raining. And that raining is not an excuse. I'm simply saying this. If you ever played football, the ball doesn't stick the same. The ball is slipping. So you can go in for a regular challenge and it turns into a red card. Cool, right? It's 5 minutes into the game. Why are you making 3 substitutions? You make the first substitution, give these boys time to gel, and then if it's still not going well after 5-10 minutes, then you make the same sub. Why are you making 3 whole substitutions? Right? Let's talk about the substitutions. You take off Esteva. Cool. He's the young kid, big fixture. You take him off. That's expected. You put on Jurgensen. Why is Neto coming off? You're taking off your only out ball. Within the same game, I'm seeing players like Joao Pedro, Caicedo win the ball and look up, and there's no one to play the ball up to. Hold on, I am not done. Cole Palmer gets injured. Cool, an injury can happen. Why are you still bringing on another defender? It's 15 minutes in the game. You have a lot of time left because you don't know what will happen. And lo and behold, we level it in terms of players on the pitch. And Manchester United still look better than us. How in heaven's name you get outcoached by Ruben Amorim? Make it make sense. How do you get outcoached by the worst Manchester United coach since World War II? Make it make sense. You're on the pitch and these players are still trying to give their best, right? Because Joao Pedro is dropping deep. He's turning on the ball. He's still finding spaces, but when he looks up, he doesn't have any support. So, you know what? Cool. No problems. Because I remember, this is all within 45 minutes. This is all the first half, right? So I'm like, cool. You go in at halftime, you still got 45 minutes to reel it back. Because guess what? You can still put on, i.e. a Gittins. This is, and again, I don't fully trust Gittins in the final third, but guess what? It's raining, and this is Manchester United's defense. You can play the ball in behind, tell Gittins to use his pace. Someone back there is bound to make a mistake based on how the game is going. Am I lying, boys? Is it not raining?
No.
Is it not the best time to put on a player with pace so they can get in behind and you know someone's going to make a rash tackle, whether inside the box or outside the box? Cool. Lo and behold, you have 2 subs left. You put on Gusto and Tyreek George, who does nothing, who has done nothing the last 3 games you put him on. Cool, you don't rate Gittins. What about Garnacho? The man that actually has something to prove. The man that just left the club. The man that just left the club. And on top of that, right, we do get a goal back. We get a goal back. Did you guys realize how lethargic we looked for when it came on to the players that played 90 minutes? You know why they looked that lethargic? One, because of the intensity of the game, and two, because we didn't have an out ball. So let me explain to you what the out ball does, Maresca. You leaving somebody with an out ball on relieves pressure on the defense. If you are playing against 11 men, you cannot just defend for 90 minutes. It's improbable. You need somewhat of an out ball. And when we won the ball back, there was no one to leave to play the ball up to, if it's even to run it to the corner flag, to bring the players up the pitch. So what that then does is, no out ball means more pressure, means more defender, means you have to play the game at a higher intensity level. So when you see Reece James slipping on the ball when he's doing his simple cutbacks, which he never does, when you see Reece James struggling to put a cross in first time, that's all from fatigue and is derived from not having an out ball for 90 plus minutes because there was extra time.
And Javon, you missed one thing. There was a moment in the game where it was 10v10.
I said that. I said we were leveled and you missed the opportunity. And that's why I said we got outcoached by Ten Hag. Because when we were level, Ten Hag didn't bring off the only attacking player he brought off was Sesko, but lo and behold, he brought on Cunha to stretch the pitch, to keep on the out ball. So when Bruno Fernandes on the Yardman show, we like the grenade football. Yeah, Amorim. So when Ruben Amorim put leaves on Bruno Fernandes to launch those grenade passes, there's still an attacking player to get there to stretch the pitch. We didn't have that at all. No problems. It's late in the game. What did it for me? Because you can go anywhere. Listen, you can go anywhere. You can go to any away ground and face a challenge. I'm not even going to say outplayed because we shouldn't be getting outplayed to Manchester United, this version of Manchester United. But you can face a challenge. Not because it's going bad within the first 5 minutes. That means you fold. You know what every single Manchester United fan tells me? This is how they start. They start on fire, and if you hold your composure for the first 15 to 20 minutes, they will fall off. Even when we were down 10 to 11, there was times in the game where Caicedo and Andre Santos still managed to get the ball up the pitch. And there's no ball, no one to pass the ball to. So tactically, it was horrendous from the manager. I've never seen a manager panic so much in my life. And people are telling me, oh, you have to defend the game but because you're down to 10 men. In 5 minutes! 5 minutes! There's 85 minutes left to go. What do you mean? Give these players a chance to settle. Yes, you didn't start the game with any height at the back. Then you make a defensive sub. You can't just throw in the towel within 5 minutes. And even then, when you look at the 2 goals conceded, it came from 2 set pieces. Manchester United couldn't create anything open play. So what are we talking about? You know what? Eunice, go. I'm going to ruin the show if I continue. Go ahead, Eunice. I'm sorry.
Look, I agree. It's completely clear, right? What happened in that game against Man United was Maresca panicking. And I don't get why. Because I think everyone agrees here. Man for man, and even in that game it was proven, we have a better team than United. And the way that United are moving right now, there's no excuse to just sit back and go into hibernation after going down to 10 men. The subs were what baffled me, right? And then, like Miz mentioned, the subs that baffled me later on had the chance to be rectified when United went down to 10 men. That's where my problem really, really started, because we go down to 10 men, irrespective of Maresca. That's Sanchez's fault. What he's doing, I don't know. Like, you can't be that irrational in that moment and put your entire team in danger. All you have to do in that situation, if your defenders have let that attacker through, which shouldn't have happened in the first place, that's why I do also want to add that, because it wasn't just Sanchez. He made the biggest blunder there. But the fact that Mbeumo had that opportunity in the first place between 2 defenders, and he was specifically on Fofana, and I think that was smart of him because he knows Fofana is the weakest link here, put him in on goal. Sanchez, all he has to do in that position is make himself look big. No one's going to blame Sanchez if Mbeumo takes it round him in that position, because they know Sanchez can't just sit on his line and just watch. He has to do something. But it's not the end of the world. If he tries to make himself look big and all of a sudden Mbeumo, say, for example, nutmegs him or he goes round him, no one's going to attack Sanchez completely there. What can he do? Instead, he just goes in and goes for a reckless challenge. Like, that's idiotic. Right. So there's the whole thing about whether Sanchez should even be number one goalkeeper in the first place. We know this. Now, a lot of us wanted Mike Maignan. That never happened. They might go in for free in January if he doesn't sign a new deal. But it's like I said back then, that's a risk. What if he does? Well, now he's not available. Is it going to be Pender's next season? God knows, right? But later on after that, the game is still there to take. All right, we go down to 10 men. It's still 0-0. You still have something to fight for. And like I said, we're better than them. We are better than them. To try and make it look like now we're not better than them, we don't have what it takes to go in there, even with 10 men. Nah. Somehow Maresca thought we've got to go into hibernation. And those subs baffled me. Like, for me, and I'll say it's clear, Esteval should never have been taken off that pitch. And I get, in that situation, Maresca has to sacrifice someone, right? Someone's got to be sacrificed. For me, it still wouldn't have been Esteval. And I know Maresca...
You know who it should have been? Eunice, you know who should have been? Knowing they know what about Cole Palmer not coming in here 100%, because us fans don't know about this, right? We thought he's fit.
Mm-hmm. This is something that we find out after.
Yeah, knowing that he's not 100%, Cole Palmer should have been off.
There's the whole debate.
You could even make an argument to take off Enzo Fernandez as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he did nothing.
Yeah. And Enzo Fernandez in a 10-man team, that's not good.
Yeah. Andre Santos came on and did more. So...
And even there were some people mentioning, you know what, if someone's got to be sacrificed in the front line, probably Pedro Neto, considering the games that he's played. And you know what, and even then, I wouldn't have wanted to. But like I say, someone's got to be sacrificed, right? So that's the case. Even then, okay, I get it. Someone's got to be taken off. So when they take off Estevan, we know what Maresca's logic here. He's the 18-year-old. He's the young one. He's the one that we've got to take our time with and embed. But for me, Estevan at this point is not someone that we need to wait for. He's ready. Play him. Because every time he plays, he's making mad differences. Mad differences. So that's an outlet up front that you can rely on, especially in that Man United team that have that back three and that left-hand side is as weak as it is, where you put Estevan up against Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire. I think he skins them. We take that threat away from ourselves. So this hasn't got anything to do with Man United now. This is all us. It's all Maresca. He takes him off. Then, 1 minute later, takes off Pedro Neto. Now we got no one. Like it doesn't make any sense. Cole Palmer comes off injured afterwards. Congrats. We've got João Pedro as our only attacker. And like Javon was saying, we go to only defenders. It doesn't compute. But that's not the full extent of the problem. That's not the full extent of the problem, because he panicked. He got nervous. I don't know what he was thinking. And this is where the question marks go as to whether he can handle really, really high pressure situations. That's where the doubts in Maresca starts coming in. And I understand it, because it's in those moments where you really earn your paycheck and you really earn your pay grade. And that against United, if this was Arsenal, or Liverpool, or even City, to an extent, I'd understand where if he's thinking, okay, no crap, we might just have to just contain here because they've got so much threat. United don't have so much threat. Before we get to like the 10v10, at the end of the day, the game finished 2-1. And United didn't even play well. If United was serious, we would have got smashed 5-0. In that situation, if United was serious, top team would have got wrecked. We didn't. We were in the game the entirety, and we didn't even play on the front foot. That just goes to show. But when we went 10v10, that's where my problem began, really. Because, okay, they went down to 10 men. Well, great. It's an even game again. We don't need to hide anymore, right? We can go all guns blazing to them, and we would win the game.
And Eunice, wasn't it 10v10 for 45 minutes? Like Casemiro got
pretty much.
He got the red card in the first half.
And when we go to 10v10, we did actually start to get on the front foot, but without the right personnel. Like Javon's saying, we have Garnacho on the bench right there. Mark Hughes sitting there if you want an extra striker. Even Gittins if you want to pile more pressure. But we didn't do that. I don't get it. Instead, we bring on Gusto. Like, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. And we bring on Tyreek George, where later on, Maresca in the press conference goes, we were looking to bring on Garnacho, but we didn't because Fofana had to come off. But you brought on George as a winger. That's a left winger. I don't get it. So these are things where I'm like, okay, this was fully on Maresca. Fully on Maresca. Because if we had brought on the right personnel, if we had actually gone, you know what, the chance to rectify bringing on that many defenders when we went 10v10, we had the attackers to bring on, we had enough subs left. At that point, I think no one would be blaming Maresca. Everyone would be like, no, you know what? Okay, when it was 10v10, he actually went all guns blazing. And like I said, even in that situation, we scored. And we did put ourselves in a situation to get back into the game. And United were panicking. And they were starting to sit back. And we had more possession. And we were generating more, not chances, but we were starting to get into their box a lot more. But we didn't really do much of it. Why? There was no attackers on the pitch. João Pedro did the job of 4 players in that game. So... we want to talk about the recruitment side of things when we go to the goalkeeper and the centre-backs is a separate issue, and I think that's an issue that needs attention. But this game, Man United, fully on Maresca and the decisions that he made, it cost us the entire game.
There's a couple things
Go on.
Sorry, there's a couple things I disagree with, right? When we go down to 10 men, the goalkeeper is gone. So we need to bring in the keeper. So someone's got to go. Now, I'm not taking off Neto. If you're not taking off Esteval, we're certainly not taking off João Pedro. We can't play with a front 3 with 10 men. So one of these attackers have to come off, right? Even if you're taking off Cole Palmer, you're still, for me, got too many attackers on the pitch. You take off Cole Palmer for the goalkeeper, you can't play a 4-2-3. Mm-hmm. So one of these attackers have to come off. João Pedro can't come off because he's the only one holding up the ball. And Neto, for me, can't come off because when it comes to tracking back, tracking runners, he's more experienced than Esteval. Yeah. Now, when you're down to 10 men, you need to keep it narrow. Mm-hmm. Fuck the wide areas off, right? Yeah. Because we ain't got enough players.
Compact.
Yeah. It needs to be a 4-3-1-1. Mm-hmm. Simple. João Pedro, and the thing is, Pedro Neto has done the role that we needed him to do last season. He's done the role last season to apply to this game. You play him up front, and he just moves across the back line. He works the whole back line. If João Pedro is holding up the ball on the right, Pedro Neto is making runs from the right. If he's holding up the ball in the middle, Pedro Neto is making runs from the striker. If he's holding up the ball on the left, Pedro Neto will make the runs off the left.
Basically, stay close to each other.
Stay close to each other. Yeah. Stay close to each other. Because every time
you don't have to run.
So you don't have exactly. Every time João Pedro is holding up the ball, there was no one near him.
Yep.
Holding off.
And that creates the outball situation. Plus, you had Andre Santos to step into that forward line to help because he's good at going forward and chucking back when needed.
Yeah. So for me, you're making 2 subs. If I didn't know about Cole Palmer, so I was never going to take off our best player. But you take off Cole Palmer for the goalkeeper, no problem. You take off.
They knew.
Okay, they knew. They knew. Yeah, exactly.
We found out after.
And you make sure that you take and you bring on Andre Santos, probably for me for Esteval. And you go to a 3-man midfield and you leave it like that. Andre Santos comes in. Enzo Fernandez, you keep a very close eye on him, and you bring on the goalkeeper. You take off Palmer if that's what you need to do because he's got a knock and it's 10 men, more running, and you take off Esteval because, sorry, this is not the time for back heels, flicks, and tricks. This is just not the time. Not the time. And that's it. Don't touch anything else. And if you are going to make another sub, it will probably be Enzo Fernandez, who had an absolute stinker. Stinker. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's like, for me, bro, this is why I have to disagree with Javon. I'm not sacking this manager. I'm not sacking this manager. I could not disagree more. I will criticize this manager in isolation. But I'm not sacking the manager that just beat the manager of the year at the Ballon d'Or Awards 2 months ago. I'm not sacking the manager that got this team into the top 4 and got us Champions League football, which even though we expected it to be done, he's still got it done. I'm not sacking the manager that's got 2 trophies out of, that's 2 trophies out of what? 4 real bites at the cherry? Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Conference League. Yeah. I'm not doing it. 2 reasons I'm not doing it. 1, because the directors have not done their job. For the 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th time in a consecutive basis. They've not done their job. They've not done their job to a high enough standard with the incomings for me to sack another manager, because they've given the manager excuses. When you've got these options, this is what happens. And the second reason is I know exactly who comes in.
All right. Yeah.
I know exactly who comes in. And they're not going to be better. They're not going to be better than Maresca. We are, whether people like it or not, we are a learning club. We are a learning curve club. So this manager is learning. And you know what? He's going to get better. I trust him to not make the same mistakes over and over. I need you to start using Josh Acheampong. I need you to start using Andre Santos. I need you to start using you, even though I don't rate him that highly. Learn from your mistakes. Start using some of the young players that you have, even though they may not be ready to do what you want to do. Because I believe this manager up here wanted to win this title, wanted to go for this title. And we saw that he, you know, the 1 minute they were briefing, he wants this goalkeeper, he wants this defender, he wants this, he wants that. Now he's coming out in presses and cussing them. No problem. As long as you understand that you also need to improve, come out and cuss as that is whoever you want to cuss. I love that. Because we don't want someone to put up and shut up and just sit there and just take it. So, come out and cuss. It's not a problem.
Do you know what? Do you know what? This is a good segue. Javon, I'm going to let you come in straight after this. This is a very good segue because I wanted to talk about Maresca. I'm not Maresca out either. I believe in him. I've seen enough to say that he's going to try and rectify his problems, whatever he's had so far throughout the season. I know we're talking about the last week, but let's be honest. Because we've been backing the team so much, we've allowed for the slow start. We weren't great against Crystal Palace. Yes, we had a really good game against West Ham. We weren't great against Fulham. We won, which is good. Being able to win when you're not at your best is also a trait. We weren't good against Brentford, but we allowed all of this because we felt that, you know what, you didn't have a proper preseason, this, that, the other. We're allowing it. But the fact is, it hasn't been the best of starts, considering a lot of us were hoping for title challenging season. So this is a great segue, right? This is a great segue. I want to talk a little bit about Enzo Maresca here, because for me, I'm not Enzo Maresca out. I believe in him. But I feel like, my man, you're talking too much again. As Matisse said, yes, the sporting directors might have let you down. No, might. Yeah, they did let you down. The owners let you down. But you know very well, you've been in the job. You've entered the job knowing exactly what Chelsea Football Club's about. Don't pretend you don't know the job description. Don't pretend you haven't seen what was before you. Right? Transfer window is closed now. I know you wanted a defender. You didn't get one. I know you wanted whoever, I don't know, the whole Jackson's agent saying that, the relationship with Enzo Maresca had deteriorated. A lot of people are saying, no, Enzo Maresca wanted to keep Jackson. Jackson's agent saying, no, that relationship died. So who let go of Jackson? I don't know. Tyreek George was moments away from going to Fulham, and now all of a sudden he's your main guy up front, and we called back you. What I'm trying to say here is, Enzo Maresca, shut your mouth and know your role. Okay? This is the squad that you have. Utilize it to the fullest. Don't make us look like stupid idiots anymore. We believe in this squad. Yes, there's holes, but there's a lot of positives. The stuff that Enzo Maresca did in the Man United game, I never want to see that again. And as Javon mentioned it very well, against Brentford as well, we should be going out there in the front foot, absolutely hammering them. But we let it go. We let it go. Brighton next up. Ain't going to be easy. We don't want to see any more fuckery. I don't want to see any more foolery. I'm telling you right now. You've got Mark Gue. I don't care if you don't like him. You don't like the way he smells. He's so tall. This, that, the other. He's your striker. He's your striker.
That's bollocks.
Try and use.
That's bollocks. The striker that striker that was sent on loan to Sunderland is now Maresca's striker. Are we having a laugh? And then at the same breath, we want to say we should.
So what are we meant to do, Matisse?
I hear it. I hear it. But this is why I'm not having a massive go at the manager. I will have a go for the Manchester United performance. But look how many individual errors have happened this week in that defense. Look how many individual errors that have happened from the quality that we have. This is down to quality at the end of the day. Because if you're making if you're making major decisions that change the landscape of games, absolutely the manager is at fault for Manchester United. But look at the defending look at Jorgensen. Don, when you get here, Don, Jorgensen's so good. I watched him on Y Scout. Jorgensen this, Jorgensen that. Jorgensen comes on for the second goal. The guy's looking up at the fucking ball. Take your 2 hands and catch the fucking ball.
And clear out everybody.
For all the
Clear a keeper.
bullshit. We could have drawn the game 1-1 if this man just used his 2 pairs of hands, bro. This guy said, nah, I'm not really feeling it. Brentford, you got 3 centre-backs on that pitch.
They're all watching.
Still can't win a header. Still
Three,
can't
no,
win a header.
it was 4 and a 5th that was nearby.
4 centre-backs. And he PTSD from that. So he said, let me use 3. Let me have tossing. And they're still losing headers. Imagine that. Man had PTSD from Brentford, used an extra centre-back when he shouldn't have. We're all saying against Man United. And the team was still losing headers in the box. Imagine. You got £90 million worth of winger. Okay, cool. Garnacho should have come on. The other 55 million is Gittins. He started against Brentford. What did he do? Was that not a quality issue? Are we really thinking? Is Don really going to come in and tell me you is going to compete with Isak and Ekatike and Gyökeres? Is that what Don's coming in to do? Don't even let him in. Don't let him log in. Delete the link. You know what's so crazy to me?
Man.
You know what's so crazy to me?
But Matisse, we got to do something, bro.
We're gonna do something. We're gonna hold the right people accountable. That's the first thing we're gonna do. Second thing we're gonna do is remember, Jose Mourinho asks for top players. He asked for Diego Costa, right? He asked for Fabregas. He asked for Felipe Luis. He asked for Courtois return on loan. Conte asked for top players. How is it that world-class managers at this football club ask for top players? The manager that's not world-class, that's not elite, that's going to make mistakes, that's young, that's bald. How comes when he needs top players, he doesn't get them, so now we cuss him out. He needs top players. He needs top players. And until he gets them, I'm going to keep cussing these directors because I'm sure as hell not going to get distracted. I'll tell you that for free. You ain't going to keep bringing in these mid players, mid options, Messi enter the window with no organization, no structure. You're trying to sell people out the door last deadline day. Now they're still here. That means you can't get this deal done. You're losing deals to Tottenham. If you think for 2 seconds I'm getting distracted, you have another thing coming. I'm telling you now. So yes, this manager needs to fix it. Yes, this manager needs to use certain players. But boy, oh boy, he's not the first. He's not the first protocol. No chance. No chance.
But Matisse, this manager knows Chelsea Football Club right now after the Caicedo ends of they don't do top players anymore, bro.
Can I interject here? Can I quickly interject here?
Go on.
Right? No. Again, when I said Maresca out, I'm coming purely from that United game because that was just unacceptable, right? I can chalk that up to being reactionary, but I've lost faith in the manager. Yes, I've lost faith in the manager. Cool.
No,
the way Matisse put. Let me finish. The way Matisse put it makes no sense to make a sub change now because these directors in charge are gonna get the same mold. Cool, but you know why I've lost faith? Weren't we sitting here last season begging for him to use Joao Felix and the lot? Weren't we sitting here last season when Vega was here and he's like, oh, you know what?
I was just gonna say.
Oh, you know what? Maybe you should use Vega here. Maybe you should use this player here. You should use that player here. This is a repeated offense, and I get what you guys are saying. I agree. We deserve better players. We need better players. But you not utilizing your full squad is also unacceptable because these players are here. Do you get what I'm saying? These are repeated offenses.
Is Hato not a good player? Like I saw everyone being up in arms for Hato. Is he not a good player anymore? I don't know. I don't watch Ajax. But people told me Hato's a very good player.
Listen, Maresca has to make better choices. You have to utilize the squad. People keep telling me, oh, Javon, relax. Cool. I'll relax. Cool. I'm being emotional because of the United game. Cool. But what happens when he doesn't use the full squad? Or what happens when he keeps on making ill decisions? Or what happens? Exactly. Look at Jordan.
Now this guy's the sassy. Wow, bro.
Bro, what I'm basically saying is, the things that we are complaining about, we were complaining about last season. So when is he going to start making certain changes? People keep telling me he's sending a message to the board. He's sending a message to the board in September. In September, when the transfer window just
Javon,
closed.
when you send a message to the board, there's only one winner, and that's not you. Don't be sending messages.
Look, this is where there has to be after what we've seen, there has to be a period of time now where we need to see decisions that are made by Maresca that make sense. It's like I said in that game against United, if all he did was make those correct substitutions that we were all waiting for, no one would be on Maresca's case right now, right? And in fact, the attention would be diverted elsewhere. If he's talking about what he mentioned yesterday, he's saying that Liverpool have the right players in. They've bolstered their squad to go and win the Premier League title and the Champions League, and that he was actually saying that's okay. So he knows what's needed in his squad to be a contender for the Premier League title, right? Because he's just used Liverpool as an example, right? And he's talking about he wishes he could play certain defenders every week and all of that, but at this point he might have to come on himself to play in defense because giving rest right now is difficult. There's no options, right?
He doesn't trust Achapon. He doesn't trust
These are all things. Well, these are all things that are making it clear. Well, firstly, is he sending some sort of a message? Is he doing that in the press conference? In the transfer window, we were getting briefed. We were getting told. He wanted a centre back and he wanted a goalkeeper. It's no secret that we did attempt to go and get Mike Maignan. It's no secret that there was the conversation of a centre back. And then Levi Colwill gets injured and we find ourselves in a situation where the players that we looked at that time and go, you know what, okay, there's enough depth here, are now having stinkers and they're not consistent enough. But at the same time, where we look at the situation financially, where we look at the settlement, where we look at going towards the end of the window, we couldn't spend big money because we needed Nico Jackson to get out.
Correct.
But there is a counter argument, which is valid. Why did we spend 55 million on Gittins in the first place? I go back to that because personally, if you remember, like when we were going for Gittins and we had that choice at winger, because we at that time were like, okay, we need to bolster attackers. We had the choice between Gittins, we had the choice between Malik Fofana, for example. And I was like, okay, I would rather Malik Fofana, right? But to spend that much money initially, whilst we know we're in a situation, because again, we get info late. We found out about the settlement long after we had already basically gotten the deal done for Gittins. But the club know that. We get that later. But the club, they know what's going on. If you know you got to manage your finances and you know that you're in a situation where, okay, we do need to bolster at the back. We do need a goalkeeper. But then we go and buy two wingers for that money. We were just talking about not being able to get top quality. And when you're spending 55 million, you can get top quality. It's like we got João Pedro through the door. We all had our doubts. I had my doubts. I got clipped for it. But he's top quality. We do know how to bring in players that are of a top standard, but we haven't done that across the board. And now we're in a situation where one injury puts you in a situation where you're stuck.
Just quickly, hold that thought, because I just wanted to interject about that Dortmund. I thought about it recently. I know Gittins for 55 million is ludicrous. It is ludicrous. But we've done a counter business with them. You see the business relationship here.
Yes. Chukwuemeka?
Yes.
Chukwuemeka, Anselmino, give us something, we'll give you something in return.
But that came later. That came a lot later.
Yeah.
Hold on, do this. Just to interject as well. I was speaking to someone that does transfers and whatnot. Apparently, most of these transfers that you see, they're done behind the scenes. And then the whole PR, the whole Fabrizio Romano is just for entertainment. So that could be a thing as well.
this is my point. In the club, they know a lot more much sooner than what we do. When we get told about things by journalists, things have already happened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Things have already happened. So this is the point. But we've put ourselves in that situation where we had that money to initially spend, where later on the settlement come in. The settlement came in July with UEFA. Now we're under restriction. And now it's a case, we need to sell players in order to generate us in order to go and buy. And the Jackson thing dragged on so far that we're stuck. So now Maresca has to do, now instead of dwelling on problem, we need to dwell on solution.
Mhm.
So if this is the solution and we are struggling at the back, right? You need to find a way to be able to outscore your opponent. It's as simple as that now. You need to go more in the direction of attack to defend and utilize what we actually have, which is what he didn't do against Man United. That the whole issue there is that we were basically handcuffing ourselves without having the defensive quality on the pitch, despite having it in numbers. That wasn't enough. We need to now utilize and know how to go and score more goals than the opponent, whilst we have this issue with Levi Colwill out. And at the same time, I hear turning to Josh Achiempong.
Is that asking too much? Is that asking too much?
No, now it's not. And I'll explain, because I was on here for the last couple of games going, don't change the centre-backs. Don't change it. And why? Because, and I heard Rio Ferdinand speak about this a couple of days ago, and I think he's spot on. And I have the same way of thinking here. Don't chop and change your central defenders. The two centre-backs need stability. That's the one area of the pitch where even on a bad day and a stinker, you have to go with the same centre back, because there's more than a couple of things that they need in order to bounce off each other. You know, if you're chopping and changing, there's no relationship being built there. Centre backs are like two strikers that are playing alongside each other. They begin to understand each other. The centre backs even more, because they're playing week in, week out. Even if it's 2 games, 3 games a week, right? They're not running up and down the pitch all the time. They can hack that, but there has to be relationships formed, and there has to be a chemistry and an understanding. And then they start understanding how to close certain spaces, how to time this. They begin to know how each other play. If you're chopping and changing that too often, just because one bad game, you're not going to get anywhere. There's going to be no stability there. So I was of the opinion, okay, you know what? Like Tosin Chalobah right now, Colwell's out. Stick with him, right? Okay. Chalobah's had a good game. Tosin's had a bad game. Stick with him. Then Tosin has a good game. Chalobah has a bad game. Okay, cool. Stick with him. And then it will start to form. We're now starting to get into territory where we're just getting inconsistency now, pure inconsistency. And now you have a Achiempong that, give the chance. Give the chance. Maybe he comes in and makes a difference. Cool, give the chance. But even in that, and we go to Sanchez as well, whether he was even meant to be number 1 goalkeeper in the first place, I think we all have our opinions on that one. But now we need to the solution is, this is our defense. We need to try and come up with a way now to just simply outscore the opponent. We need to go more all guns blazing. And if it means that we win games 4-3 or 3-2, so be it. We haven't got a choice right now as Levi Colwill's out. We haven't done enough due diligence for our defense in the window to be able to cover for this situation. And we weren't anticipating Levi Colwill to get injured.
Yeah, but Eunice, I agree. But our left side attack is from the shadow realms, bro. Because it's not like, you see the
we've got Gargantuan now, haven't we? We still don't know what he's about.
That's true, but hear me out.
And the United game was perfect to see how he can come on and make a difference, or what he can actually do. If we went all guns blazing, we'd have a better idea, but we didn't bring him on.
Yeah, you're right. So here's the thing, right? Do you see the complete forward play that Joao Pedro gives us?
Yeah.
Having goal-scoring wingers to run off of him would have been perfect, right? Would have been perfect, whether it's in that 10 or whether it's in that 9 position. But Esteval is still yet to score a goal. We know what Pedro Neto brings. He's more of a creator than a finisher. And then we got Gittins and Garnacho, which is a huge question mark. And we see what Tariq George does. So when you're saying we have to outscore people, we have to outscore teams, that's going to have to come from the entire team, not only the attacking line, right? And that does go back to the defenders scoring headers when we get crosses in, actually completing our crosses. That's going to be a team effort, because our attack line is still yet to be what's the word? It's still yet to be confirmed that we can outscore teams strictly from our attack alone. You get
Can I
what I'm
make
saying?
one point? Can I make one point on the set pieces and what you just
Yeah.
mentioned? This
Yes.
is key because last season we had a problem with set pieces across the board.
Mhm.
Right? We were crap in the air. Now we're actually seeing over a period of games this season, we're scoring from set pieces
We are.
consistently, but we're poor in the air defensively.
Yeah.
So
It's
I don't
not
get it. That doesn't
makes
make any sense. So
Yeah.
we're good in the air when we want to score. We're crap in the air when we want to defend. That's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
my
just
next
quickly,
point was,
just quickly, Javan, and on that defensive, it seems like it all started from the Brentford game, the long throw-ins, and then Vincent Kompany saying pre-match, I've already done my homework on Chelsea. I know what their weakness is, and they went long as well in a lot of the times directly towards Kane. Man United from the first second started going long, Sesko header winning, Emo in behind. It seems like the opposition, they sense that there's a weakness, which I didn't necessarily think there was previously. I thought defensively, aerially, we're good. We're good with the likes of Tosin and Chalobah. When did this become a problem for us?
bro, it became a problem when teams tried to figure out how they can get against us, and that Brentford game gave them the blueprint, right? My next question regarding the defenders is: can we not play Josh and have Reece James beside him as his senior? So he's a young kid, so you're gonna need some of the defenders to talk him through certain positions. Can we not use Josh as a center back? Play Reece James beside him and play Tosin or Chalobah, one out of the two,
Yeah.
to kind of guide him through the game. Because we saw what he did against Crystal Palace. Did he not keep a clean sheet against Mateta? And I'm not worried about the fullback positions because we have quality in both fullback positions. Or you go with Hatta. He can play centre back. He's there's basically what I'm saying is Maresca can do more to try and find a solution. If you genuinely want to send a message to the board, you can say, "Hey, I've tried every single option you've given me. I've tried. It's there. You have proof on paper and you have proof on the pitch.
Yep,
So
I agree.
now the ball is firmly in your court." So for people that are saying, "Oh, he's sending a message by not using these players," it would be a stronger message to use these players so that the board has visual confirmation that these players are just bad, and
Yeah,
then
but
you have to bring quality. Then
We need points. This is not pre-season. It's not time for experimenting and trying everything, and then we lose games and see. Look, I tried everything. We don't have time for that. We need to beat Brighton. I don't know. I'm not interested in any experimentation in a Premier League season. This is not a free hit. It's not a free season. So unfortunately, he's the one at the training ground. He is going to play who he believes has the best chance of winning the game. Simple. Hato was not a centre back when he came here. We all said he's a secondary left back. At very best, he could play in the left side of a 3 whilst moving out to left back, the opposite of what Reece James or Gusto do on the other side, or Achimpong. But he's not playing in the middle he's not playing in a back 4 as a centre back. He's just not gonna. It's not gonna happen, right? And then Achimpong, absolutely, I want to see more of him. That's the one where you've actually worked with him. It's not Hato who's new, or you've worked with this guy last year. Use him because he's a good player, and like you said, he showed that against Crystal Palace. But we need aerial dominance. We need aerial superiority, and we're not going to have that with Hato at centre back right now. We know that. So look, for me, there's certain things he can do, but I'm not going to start asking him to do things that don't make sense, or things that we know we're not even confident in ourselves. We're just saying it just because we want to see it, and then when we lose.
So what have I said? What have I said that makes him not make sense to challenge that point?
Hato can't play centre back right now in a back 4.
Okay, Hato can't. But I still said. But the point with Josh still stands. The point with you still stands.
Guy is funny to me. I want Don to be here because Guy is hilarious.
Okay, we'll let Dan handle that. But basically, what I'm saying is, we're losing anyways. We might as well try something. And this is only to the point to people who say he's sending a message to the board, which I think is crazy. How do you send a message to the board in September? If it was December, I hear it because the transfer window is about to open. Do you get what I'm coming from?
But going back to what Matisse said, there's a lot of things that Matisse said obviously makes sense, but there are a few things there still holes there for me. Like, for example, you said, Matisse, that he sees what he sees in the training and he's going to put out the team that he best believes is going to win the game. In the last few games, we can clearly see, I think there was one game where Enzo Fernandez actually played really well. I just can't remember which game, but I remember that there was one game, might have been Brentford, I think. Second half, he played well. Overall, Enzo Fernandez so far has not done well, which has also created a heavy workload for Caicedo in midfield, who's seemingly is got some sort of a niggly problem. You got Andre Santos, who put on a shift and a half against Man United. What are we not seeing in the training ground that Enzo Fernandez is doing and maybe Andre Santos is not doing? Because it's not translating in the game.
Andre Santos is ready to start. He's ready to start. That's why I 100% criticize him for not starting him. In fact, even before the red card against Man United, I was even contemplating should Andre Santos start, because I remember saying on this show that Lavia usually starts these big away games, and we didn't have Lavia for Bayern Munich, and we obviously didn't have Lavia for Man United. But last season against Liverpool and against Man United, I think Arsenal, we played Lavia. So if we weren't going to play Santos against Bayern, I was like, you got to play him against United. Let's see him next to Caicedo. So I don't know why he's taking so long with that one. So there's certain things, I'm not getting it. But there are certain things where I'm like, this is not a reasonable ask for a team that is meant to be doing something serious. Now, people will be saying it's not working anyway, so let's do it. But at the end of the day, let's talk about why it's not working. Brentford, we're seconds away from a win. The defending, the defending there is atrocious. Man United, there's a red card in 5 minutes. The substitutions are atrocious, but there's a red card in 5 minutes. So again, there's individual players there that we need to talk about. And then Bayern Munich is Bayern Munich. So it's not a great start for anyone, but at the same time, I don't think it means that players that are really, they shouldn't be here, start playing meaningful parts. Like we could try it, but it's not gonna for me, it's not level.
We'll probably see it against Lincoln City.
Hugh is cup tied for Lincoln City.
He's cup tied, he can't play.
Oh,
he's cup tied.
Yeah,
I was never mind. I was talking strictly about
okay. Do you know what? It's interesting what Matisse said. I want to see what Eunice has to say about this. We'll go from here. Sanchez. Let's talk about Sanchez, right? We wanted Mike Mignon. And for financial reasons, whatever the reasons, they felt like that money was too much to pay. I don't know how much his wages were going to be. I don't know what happened, and it didn't end up happening. But we were clear. And I think the manager was clear as well. He wanted a new goalkeeper, right? Club World Cup happened. He stuck around. But then you've also got Mike Penders, who's now doing pretty well at Strasbourg. What's the dynamics here, Eunice? Like, what I'm trying to get to is, at what point do you say, you know what, I'm done with complaining? I look at it from a real life situation. Like, not everyone's workplace is the best, right? My workplace is not the best. I'm pretty sure Matisse's, YouTube content making, it's not always the best day, but you got to do what you can do with what you have. Eunice will say the same. Javon will say the same at work as well, that it's not always going for me. I can complain, I can sit there and be upset that this wasn't available, that wasn't available. But ultimately, I've got a goal to reach. I've got to go to reach, and I've got to do something. So, Eunice, where does it come a point where, okay, who was pushing? I don't know. Why didn't we then get rid of Sanchez? We had all that time. Why weren't we able to get rid of him? Aren't there any other goalkeepers beside Mignon? Are there any other goalkeepers that doesn't meet Mr. Maresca's remit, his job description? Like, where do we just say, you know what, Maresca, let's move on now. Let's carry on. We don't know what goalkeeper to go, or we tried, or whatever. Where does it come a point where we go, just, mate, let's move on now? There's a season to, perform.
Well, realistically, that we're in that. At that time. Like we knew we were going for Mignon. What Donnarumma was available to. Donnarumma was there, but
never gonna happen.
This is the thing. Even at that moment, you weren't going to go for both keepers. We made the attempt to go in for Mike Mignon for so many, for the amount of money that we put up, and we were like 2-3 million short. Now we're at an opportunity where we might be able to go and get him in January on a free, right? Or agree something in January on a free, but it's a risk. But we'll see, because like you've said, there's Penders that's available that might be coming in, who's had a good start for Strasbourg. There's these, we might be doing a replication of what we saw with Andre Santos. We might be looking to next season, Penders walks in, Omega walks in, who's already been touted as Jackson's replacement completely once he does come into Chelsea next summer. And this could be the same path that we saw Santos come down, who we're now calling to play. So that's where I honestly think it's heading. But in terms of getting on with the job, basically, but we're in that. The transfer window's closed. We can't do anything. But I wanna point out one thing as well that we've not mentioned that I think has been a constant over at least the last few seasons, right? And I feel like this is where the confidence and belief had come in at the back end of last season and then into the Club World Cup. And now we carried that forward. And I think that's mentality. Because when you look to the Brentford game onwards, all the issues were mental. We let that goal in the last minute against Brentford. No one's picking up that back post. We got 4 or 5 defenders fighting for the same ball. They all lose out. That's focus. That's concentration. That's just your head's in the clouds. We let that result go. Bayern Munich, naive mistakes. Naive. Again, it's mental. Gusto's taken a year and a half to make a decision on the ball, gets dispossessed, boom, we concede. That's mental. We look at the spaces that we allowed to have them. That's mental. We go into the United game and the way that Sanchez throws things, lose his head. Maresca, poor subs, poor decision making in the moment. That's mental. There's a theme here that, unlike the back end of last season, where we spoke about this, the Fulham and Everton games, from that point onwards, it was like a switch went on. There was nothing done like tactically that was revolutionary or anything. It was just like a switch went on. All of a sudden, everyone's on it. And we're like, yo, something's changed here. And it did. Right? We then went on to go onto the form that we did, managed to get top 4, Conference League, Club World Cup, but we carried that forward. But we looked mentally strong. So we have it in us. It's there. And the players that we brought in the summer, some of them at least that we look at, quality's been brought in. So there's no excuse. The only thing that we can look at in terms of the mistakes that we've made the past 3 games is mentality. And there's also, and correctly so, someone in the comments has said, there is the whole fatigue thing. But I got to be honest, I didn't expect that to be an issue now. I expect that to be an issue in December, not now.
So I was just going to ask that same question.
Big up, Don, by the way.
Big up, Dan. But just before you go, Dan, I was going to ask the entire panel, could the extra run or the extra games in the Club World Cup be affecting us now? Because remember, we kind of, if you really look at the players' perspective, they had a stop-start. They made an extensive run, had like a 2-week break, and then came back. So could that affect the mentality in terms of fatigue, tiredness? And is that even a valid excuse at this level? There's so much different ways to look at it.
This is the thing, like personally, and again, this is something that they'll know within. So people within the club right now, the medical team, Maresca, the players, they will know, right? But I can only think on a logical perspective. I don't think by this point in the season, it should be too much of an issue. I think when you get halfway through the season, you'll really start feeling the load. Normally, where for some teams, a few injuries might pop up from December onwards. For us, and this is the one thing that I said would hinder us in terms of going for anything in terms of silverware, the title and all of that. The one thing that could really stop us is after December, where the players just crash. But I didn't expect it in mid-September. The season's still young. We just really started. So I don't know. Personally, in that regard, I don't know. But I do think that mentally, it's like we're going back into a cocoon.
And
And
man, I'm just feeling sorry for themselves. Man, I'm just feeling sorry for themselves. It's pissing me off.
But this is it. Miz is saying, so how do we move forward? Well,
get wins, win games.
We need to galvanize ourselves, and we need to, I think, address ourselves mentally as well as we're talking about tactically, or we're talking about Maresca, some of the subs and all of that, which again I think is a mentality thing because he looked like he we need to galvanize ourselves again and really begin to wake up.
See, this is my thing, Miz. Yeah, big up people, bro. Listen, work today has
Big
done
up,
me.
bro.
Work today has done me, man. My meeting time got changed and
That's
whatnot.
right.
It's done me, yeah. But what's really annoying me about this whole situation right now is we can have different conversations about different problems with Chelsea. We can talk about the injuries. We can talk about Maresca's in-game management. We can talk about the sporting directors all day long. We can talk about the recruitment, right?
Yeah.
But how I'm looking at things right now is there's no point for me to overly keep complaining and going on about the recruitment because the window's shut. Whether I cry
That's
about
my
it,
point. That's
about
my
it,
point.
Exactly.
yeah,
That's
the
my
window's
point.
shut, bro. So me talking about third striker and the sporting directors, bro,
Can't do
it's
anything
not
about
changing nothing. It's not changing nothing, bro. Everyone knows my thoughts. I gave my thoughts in the summer. The left wing situation, bro, that was the weakest part of our window for me. I was happy with Delap. I was happy with João Pedro. The centre back situation, I understand it. We wasn't able to move anyone on, right? Fofana is still injured. I was going into the summer saying we need to go bring a centre back, regardless of what happens to Colwell. Yeah, we didn't expect Colwell to get injured. Yeah, Sanchez, I was happy to go bring in Maignan. So we've spoken about all of that, right? But my problem right now, one of the main people I'm looking at right now is Maresca. Yeah, Maresca and the players. The players' in-game management has not been, the players' mentality has not been good enough, and the quality in key areas has not been good enough. But this manager right now is playing multiple people out of position, and guys are complaining after saying, "Oh well, is Guiu on the bench and is this guy on the bench?" We know that, but you've got a fucking job to do, right? And the job you've got to do is make use of the team that you have correctly, bro. Yeah, you can't be playing Tyreek George up top, up against De Ligt and Maguire, and expect to get joy out of it. Yeah, he did the same against Man United.
And Don, just quickly, that's not the time to send a message to the board. I'm going to use Tyreek George to send you a message. But stop sending messages. I'm turning my phone off.
Exactly, bro. Yeah. Obviously, the whole Delap thing is unfortunate because, again, you go look at the guy's injury record, bro. Obviously, any player can get injured at any point, right? But the guy, bro, he picked up an injury, 4 games in, and he was starting to actually, get warm, yeah? But some of the decisions that this guy has been making, like this season, have not been good enough, right? They've not been good enough, bro. It's reminding me of when we first started the season with Poch, and we started slowly. Remember the games we had with Poch were a little bit easy. I remember we had Forest at home. We had West Ham away. We lost that game when Carney got injured. Yeah. And the decision making, the in-game management wasn't good enough. I'm seeing the same patterns here with Maresca, bro. Right? I'm not going to say get him out and that because, he's got credit in the bank and I like his philosophy. But right now, bro, the guy's been a little bit, he's got his handbrake up. You know what I mean? He's got his handbrake up and he's been making some weird decisions, bro. Weird decisions, right? Against Bayern Munich, way too reactive. The sub should have been made when it was 2-1 down. He decides to make the subs after they scored the third goal, right? Against Brentford, cool. He decided to rotate the team and that. He made the changes quite quickly. But again, like you've said, switching off in the box, yeah? The other day, bro, Tyreek George coming on, yeah? You've got taking off all your attackers, taking off any connectors that João Pedro would have had on the pitch. That's ridiculous. João Pedro was a one-man machine. What did you expect him to do? Yeah? And you know what you expected him to do, bro? Run about by himself, and now you're telling everyone, oh, he's got a little bit of a problem. Well, if he gets fucking injured, I'm looking at you, big man. Yeah? I'm looking at you because you're not using the players that you've got correctly, right? If right now I go downstairs and I've got £5 in my account, yeah, I go downstairs and there's all these ingredients that I can make a meal out of. I can go get a little pasta from the cupboard, yeah, a little bit of tomato sauce, right, and a little bit of prawns. I've got some prawns in the fridge. I'm gonna make use of what I've got. It might not be steak, yeah. I might not have steak in the fridge, yeah. I might not have the most expensive pasta in the cupboard, but I'll make use of what I've got correctly, bro. I'm not gonna now put pasta with bananas, yeah. I'm not gonna put pasta with some weird shit in there. That's what this guy's doing, bro. He's doing some weird shit. I don't want to hear no one tell me nothing about, Guiu was third choice at Sunderland. Andre Santos wasn't even getting into certain squads at Forest. What we're talking about, right? You should know the politics in football when it comes to loan players. They don't give a shit about them.
So I expect to see Guiu in the Spain national team soon. Then I expect to see Guiu in the Spain national team.
And it
soon.
begins.
Seen as the comparison, seen as you've just made that absolutely disgraceful comparison. I expect to see I
It's the-
expect to see you
the point.
on international stages soon,
My-
brother.
My
Not
point
to
is,
mention he's cup tied for Lincoln. I told you,
Yeah.
you wasn't getting to get any game time this week, right?
I never. Hold on. I told
Right,
you that
and
you
then-
need to get the game time.
And then,
I said I don't track Maresca. That's what I told you.
but then the very game today that you needs to start so we can actually see some confidence, some goals. He can't even fucking play. But
Bro,
you were the one parading Jackson to leave. Hey, Jackson, he's going. Yeah,
I wasn't
I
parading-
can't wait.
I wasn't
He was
parading
pissing
Jackson
me
to
off
leave.
all this time. He was.
I wasn't
Okay,
parading-
so they
I
keep
wasn't
laughing.
parading Jackson to
Keep
leave.
smiling. This is funny now, isn't it? Is it funny?
No, I'm
Are
smiling.
you laughing?
I'm
Are
smiling
you laughing
because-
now?
Hold on, hold on.
Is it
I
funny
told you.
now, Don? Is
Yeah,
it
I
funny?
told you.
It's not funny, is it?
Don's
It's
getting
funny now,
pressed,
is it?
bro.
It
Don's
ain't
getting
funny now,
pressed.
is it? 'Cause
He's
now you
shameless.
ain't
Come
got no
off the ball,
striker.
bro.
Now,
Now
let's go
you
back
ain't
to
got
the
no
original
striker, bro.
I'm
Now you
open,
ain't
I'm
got no
open,
striker.
bro.
Let's go
Now
back
you
to the
ain't got no
original point.
striker.
To me.
Let's go back to the original point because when I was talking about Santos, yeah, when this guy was on loan at Forest, I had people saying the exact same thing they're saying about Guiu now. Oh, we can't even get any games at Forest and that. Yeah. The point that I'm making is when players go out on loan, we're seeing it right now with Buonanotte, bro. Yeah. When players go out on loan, teams, especially with young players, they tend to prioritize the older guys. When Andre Santos went on loan, the guy that was there, what was his name? I forgot his name now. The manager, yeah, that got sacked. He was saying how he would rather go for the experience right now. And this guy is literally not our player. Cooper, Steve Cooper. He literally said he's not our player, yeah, and I'd rather prioritize experience right now. He had like Sangare and these sort of guys. Andre Santos, I remember he made a little cameo against Liverpool for these guys, and he played well. And I spoke to a few Forest fans. They'll say, bro, like, we want to see more of him, but the manager don't trust him, yeah? And I'm seeing the same thing here. No one's saying Gil was going to come in here and have a Palmer sort of season and 20 goals a season. No one's saying that. I'm just saying this guy is comfortable playing up top because he knows the position. Tyreek George playing up top is a waste of time. It's making him uncomfortable. It's not giving him any confidence, right?
It's not an alternative.
so
It's
easy.
not an alternative. Yeah.
Honestly, bro. If I'm a centre back, especially if I'm Delete or Maguire, yeah, and I'm seeing Tyreek George is the guy I'm going to be marking, I'm laughing. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm laughing mid game as I'm tackling him. Yo, what? Hey, let's play FIFA later, bro. Pro clubs, yeah. We'll play Pro clubs later. You know what I mean, bro? Because what's he really gonna do? His frame is not built to be playing up top. He's not physical. He's not really great with his back to goal. So what are you playing him there for? Yeah, he's not affected the game in any way. And I'm not overly looking at him because he might not be Hudson-Odoi. He might not be the greatest talents we've seen come out of Cobham. I've seen better talents than Tyreek. Facts, right? But the thing is, playing him in a position where he's not comfortable is on the manager, right? Why is Enzo Fernandez consistently played as a 10? That's the manager, yeah? The in-game management is the manager, right? So we can't let man get away with it. Every time just running away, going straight to the SDs. We know the conversation with these guys. But use what you've got correctly, bro. That's the problem I've got with him right now, man. He's not using the squad properly, bro. He done the same thing last year with Vega and Felix, right? And I said, I'm not gonna be lenient this year, bro. I said to him, I said, I'm not gonna be lenient this year. Yeah. This guy was in conversations. He was definitely in conversations with the board this summer, bro. No one can tell me that he wasn't. He was. Yeah. It was said many times. Fabrizio and all these guys have said many times he's been involved in talks. So what's going on? What's going on, bro? You know what I mean?
Do you know what, Don? Just quickly on the Vega. And look, I'm not someone who rates Vega, but something drastically happened there where this guy no longer is a Chelsea player, didn't want to be a Chelsea player. And I don't think it's on the directors doing anything. It's clearly a fallout between Vega and Maresca. So when I hear, and I get what Matisse said, managers like Mourinho and Conte wanting and demanding better players. This guy's a rookie manager, should get better players. And as I said, I'm still fully Maresca in. I feel like he's definitely got credit. But how can I trust you that, okay, I'm going to get you a really good player. How can I trust you that the relationship's not going to be broken? Because there's João Felix, there's Renato Vega, and these aren't even like the greatest players. Nicholas Jackson's agent saying that the relationship is broken with Maresca. How do I know I'm going to get you a 70, 80 million player with X amount of wages and that it's going to all work out? How do I have that? How do I have that faith in you to do this?
How about you do it first, and then we can judge. Because João Pedro is actually ready to play for Chelsea Football Club. He's a Champions League level player, and he's playing just fine. when you sign a man scrubs, he treats them like scrubs. This is the facts. Where's João Pedro playing right now? He's in Saudi. No one wanted his ass.
Yeah, Pedro.
João Felix.
Sorry,
Felix.
not João
God
Pedro,
forbid.
João Felix. Yeah, João Felix.
Felix, yeah.
So that's where it is. Top players get treated like top players. Scrubs get treated like scrubs.
And then and
No,
top players bring-
but the thing is though, I even remember when we played Leicester last year, because I was at that game, yeah, and João Felix had a very good game, right? The next game, nowhere to be seen again, right? Again, Matisse, you can complain till the cows come home. But when guys start to get injured, there were so many games where the dynamic could have changed. The dynamic could have changed. You use the bench. You just use it, bro. You go again in January. You go again in the summer, right?
But-
I don't like the amount of mistakes and the risks that these guys take. I've spoken about this many times. But like I've said, the window's shut, bro. So we've got no control over these things right now.
But
No
then
control over it. Nothing's going to change right now.
Remember last year, just to look at some of these nuances. Last year, Maresca was literally playing a right back over a natural left back. Maresca was literally playing, in terms of João Felix position, just playing Cole Palmer right through, even when Cole Palmer went to a bad run of form and whatnot. So these concerns are from last season, in the sense that even when it's clearly needed that you make the change, he's just not going to make the change. So that's where I'm losing faith or lost faith in Maresca. Do you understand? So Dan is right. You have to use what's there. If you don't use what's there, you're limiting the team to a limited certain amount of success, simply because you're gonna overstrain the squad.
Yep.
And you're gonna get more injuries.
He did the
And
same.
we are playing more competitions this season. Something has to give, bro. He has to use the squad.
He did the same at Leicester, bro. I was speaking to a Leicester fan before you come in, Miz, when I did my preview last year, because I said, bro, when Chelsea had that little drop off, Maresca had a little had trusted like his little core, yeah. But everyone else just got dashed to the side, and that's why a certain man left in January. And he said the same thing to me, bro. He said Maresca, when he was here at Leicester, he had a little core as well, and everyone else kind of just got neglected to the side, right? So it's a recurring thing with him, you know. But again, it's only game week 5 right now, so. My hope as a fan, you have to have hope as well, blood. That's what people need to realize. My hope as a fan is that as the season goes on, even before Christmas, I'm talking October, November times, going into that period there where it's peak, that I'm starting to see him trust these guys more. Yeah. You need to give these guys experience. It's like this, Matisse. You know how it is trying to find a job in London, in the UK as a young guy, bro. You know when they reject your application because you've got no experience. How am I going to gain experience if you're not going to give it to me, bro? You know what I'm saying?
That's everywhere, bro. That's
Brighton.
Yeah.
Brighton, go to Brighton.
Go to Brighton. This is the capital of England. This is London. We got shit to do. This is business, big boy business. Go to Brighton. Take a train.
Matisse,
go learn. Come back in 2 years. We'll appoint and hire you, Don. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Certain man shouldn't be here. Certain man should be loaned and that. I hear that. But I'm just saying for now, bro. Yeah, for now. You know what I mean? And listen, he will be back, innit? Let me ask you,
right? Because in the summer, these guys didn't get cussed because we were world champions. We were gold. There was gold confetti. There was badges. There was beautiful new kits from Nike. So we didn't have time to cuss anyone, right? So are they going to do this next summer as well? And they're going to bring in all these young players from all the loans who are really talented. They're not ready yet.
I think so, bro.
For us to win a league. I'm hearing about Penders. Penders is not walking into this goalkeeper position and winning the league in his first season. That ain't happening, right? So we're going to do the same shit next season, right? They're not going to get cussed. Season's going to start. Not going to be ready. And then we're going to be on the manager again because he's not using all of his resources. Is that what we're going to keep doing? We're going to keep, and every single year we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep putting the majority of the blame at the person that's here the least. And the person the 3 people that have been there for how many years? How many transfer windows? How much money spent? Oh, they just get away with it because when they do their bullshit, it's not a time to criticize because we're world champions or the new kits come out and it's the summer and the sun's shining and we're outside and we're walking in shorts in London. We're going out on dates with our missus. That's where they don't get cussed then. But then when the season starts and shit goes left, then we have to focus on.
But Matisse, though, you know, yeah, that hold on. So when Maresca had his interview, yeah, man's gonna be asking the club questions about the model, you know, the sort of players that they like, the sort of scouting that they do. They'll be telling you, bro, we're gonna be looking at guys like Mark Guiu. We're gonna be looking for these sort of guys. We're gonna be looking for guys that guys don't know about, right? But we want them to be integrated into the team, the good ones, yeah. And obviously, you know, some of these guys should be given opportunities as well. Maresca he knows what he signed up to. That's the end of it, bro. That's number one. Yeah. He knows what he signed up to, bro. He knows the sort of signings that these sporting directors make, right? So as a result of that, if you know what you walked into, Matisse, you can't now walk in here and basically just say, oh well, you know, I haven't got a world-class player on the bench, so fuck that guy that I don't really trust, and I'm just gonna leave him there. You know what I'm saying? Don't take the job in the first place. Then that's how I'm kind of seeing it, because they've signed these guys as much as you know, as much as you know. We shouldn't. We should be signing better talent. Yes, I agree with you on that. Like, bro, I didn't want Gargantuan. I didn't want these sort of guys. I wanted a starting left winger. I wanted Rodrigo. I was all for this, bro. Yeah. Even after we signed Delap, I was saying still go sign Ottoman, bro. You know what I mean? I still said all of these things, but this is the model. This is the model right now. You know, this manager. If you don't want to use these guys, don't take the job. I said the same thing. I said the same thing about Poch.
Of course, he's going to take the job. He was at Leicester, bro. Of course, he's going to take the job. Do you know why?
Because you're getting paid millions.
You're getting paid millions, you know what? Bro. Do you know what? If he was to sack him right now, which I know you're not calling for, he's got 2 trophies under his belt, and his prestige and his level as a manager has gone up. His stock has risen, and then he'll get a better job. So it's a stepping stone. So we don't want managers to come here and feel like it's a stepping stone where you're going to keep taking the jobs, because they're going to keep appointing people like McKenna, like Maresca, like whoever else that was on that shortlist, Vincent Company. They come here, they get a little bit of good out of this mess that is the model, and then they go and get a better job afterwards, or they go and settle themselves at other clubs. This is not the place.
I agree with that.
Not the place,
I agree with that, bro.
What we want is top managers. And we want top. What we want is league titles and Champions League. So let's talk about the root of the problem, because all of these changes that you man are talking about, they're not winning league titles and not winning Champions Leagues. Do you think? I don't agree with George playing over Guy, but you think that's the difference between doing majors and doing minors? No, it's not. We need to make sure that we're actually talking about the root of the problem here. So it changes. It's not about you coming in for John. I want to win a Premier League. I want to win a Premier League.
Just one second. Just one second.
Go. I was going to say, go. You go.
I was going to say, look, there are probably 2 standout teams in the Premier League right now. Would we agree? Arsenal and Liverpool. Man City still would say probably 2 standout at the moment in terms of chemistry. If you look at those 2 teams as well, can we sit here and say, just because they've done the business that they have done? I've watched Everton versus Liverpool. I've watched quite a lot of Liverpool games this season. I probably didn't catch too many Arsenal. I can put my hand on my heart and say there's flaws in Liverpool as well.
100.
Like you are lying to yourself if you think, oh, they've done such great business, they are set. I literally saw the Everton game and I was baffled at how hasn't Everton been able to come back in this game. I know Eunice did a watch along shootout. Yeah. Arsenal as well. Look at all they've got a complete squad. People are saying, why are they playing the way they're playing against Man City? Why weren't they playing in the front foot? So
because of the manager.
What I'm trying to get to is that it's not just about the business that you do. This is why I do agree with what Matisse is saying. I understand what he's saying, but I also side with what Don is saying, is that do what you can with what you've got. Do what you can with what you've got.
This goes back to the conversation I was having before about what profile are normally third strikers. Because right now we've been done with the injury of Delap, right? If Delap's fit right now, Gil is not even probably at the club. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not even here, right? And what I said to you lot before is third choice strikers tend to be your has-beens, like a Giroud, for example, or like a Gil. That's what a third striker tends to be, because you will never have a third striker who's in their prime. It just doesn't happen. Not at a top club like this. It's not realistic. And that's why Jackson wanted to move on, right? So this guy is your third striker, Matisse. That's the facts of it, bro. He's the third striker here at the club, whilst Delap is trying to get back to fitness. So use him, bro. You know what I mean? Use him. Yeah. I like what Maresca's been doing recently with Gusto. I've been giving him praise for Gusto. He's now overlapping Gusto the way that he was. Are we now going to start seeing him doing that with Reece? Is he now going to trust Reece's body? Yeah. But then if he does that with Reece and Reece breaks down, another problem. Yeah. You know what I mean? So boy, there's all these things. There's so many. There's not just one person to blame. Everyone's to blame for what's going on right now. That's the thing about it. Yeah, but you can obviously look at the root cause. It comes from above,
Sporting.
but there's still. I'm sorry, there's still a lot of quality in this team to be using, bro. That's why I'm not overly feeling sorry for this guy. I'll be real.
So the only thing I'll say is just to put like a timestamp on it and to kind of take the frustration out of it from my perspective. If this is going to happen, it's better it happens now in September than later down in the season, because it still gives us time to turn this way around.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I said about get rid of Maresca because of the United job. Y'all know where I'm coming from. I've never still changed my stance when it comes on to Manchester United. But taking that out of it, it's better it happens now in September, so he knows, hey, you have games to make it up. You have games to let some of these new players get more embedded into the team. Because you can even make an argument, maybe he doesn't trust them yet because they're not fully in his plans, in his team. So it's only September. We still got the rest of the season to go, and we can only pray and hope for an improvement.
100%.
And the thing is, it's been a week of hell. It's been a week of hell, but in that week of hell, like Javon's saying, it's been a week of so many lessons to be learned. Yeah, because bro, like I was listening to you guys before I had to jump in my meeting, bro. I haven't seen this level of clownery defending since Poch. Yeah, I haven't seen this level of clownery defending. Some of the defending, the goals, you can literally put you know what I'm saying, throughout the video.
You can.
Because it's clownery stuff, man. Yeah, I was watching these guys right in front of me for the second goal at Old Trafford. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I honestly felt sick. Yeah, it felt, you know how, listen, you might be watching the game at home. You know how sick I felt driving that far, and after 5 minutes knowing the game's lost.
That's bad.
Yeah? I was sitting there, standing in the rain, thinking, broski, I don't know what. I said to Alex next to me, the only way we come back is if Casemiro gets sent off. That's the only way. Yeah, because Maresca has thrown in the towel, absolutely thrown in the towel here. Yeah. So boy, Brighton, Lincoln, like later, I don't even know what he's gonna do. You probably play George up top. We ain't gonna see Mweka. Forget about Mweka.
Do you know what? This is what I want to talk about before we go into the super chats. Eunice, Lincoln, Brighton, Benfica. But I need this football club to wake up and come back, because I'm backing this club, bro. As I said, the way I started the show, I get cussed when I don't believe in certain things happening, and I get cussed when I start believing in them. I can never seem to win.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
So we need to win games because we're going to get cussed otherwise.
Yeah,
Exactly. So the first time, after a long time, I'm walking into a season where I'm going, you know what? I'll back you. I believe in you. Bro, Eunice, these 3 games, I don't want any more foolery, bro. I don't want any more foolery.
bro. This is where I go back to what I said earlier on last season. Because last season we were in the same predicament, but at the end of the season, right? You remember the games that we were throwing away, and then I remember coming on and saying, "Look, that run up at the end of the season, we're cooked. Like if we're gonna play like this, we go into Liverpool at home, Forest away, Newcastle away, United at home, and there was one more game. I forgot what it was.
Liverpool, I think Liverpool or something.
No, I said Liverpool at home. Yeah, I said that. I said that. If we don't win these games, which we didn't, we drop points. I'm like, we're gonna get cooked. We're gonna get stuffed. The team managed to somehow do something to go into those games and actually win most of them. We lost to Newcastle only, right? And remember
we had 10 men.
red card. Like that.
And ironically, Eunice. Yeah, ironically, in that game, when we had 10 men, we actually played right. Yeah,
We play better. We play better.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is where we're basically in the same situation now, but now at the beginning of the season. We're now entering a phase of games, and you just listed them. Yeah. Lincoln tonight, obviously Lincoln, Brighton, Benfica. Let me add to that. We got Liverpool after Benfica. Let me add to that. We got Forest away, just like we did last season. So now it's a different Forest, but we got Forest away after that. Then we got Ajax in the Champions League. Oh, now it's go time. But you see how we actually went into those games and switched it on? Now we got to switch it on. There's back's against the wall again. Back is against the wall again, and we got to switch it on. Right? There's no ifs, buts, or looking to. Now is the time to look for solution and look at what went wrong in those games and rectify. Simple. We have to go in and wake up and give full intensity. Now, when I say full intensity, again, there's the whole fitness thing and who's going to be available and whatnot. But if Maresca is using the options that he has at his disposal, then I think right now we can't ask for more than that. Which right now it seems like he's not doing completely. And I want to add to the point that I mentioned earlier. Mentally, we got to get out of whatever clouds we've got in our heads right now. Defensively, like I said, a lot of the mistakes that we're making are babyish. They're amateur. You know, we're losing like first and second balls, or we've got players cramming into one space instead of spreading out and making sure we're marking correctly. Like this is schoolboy stuff.
Even our pressing, even our structure hasn't been good. Like the way the first time I really saw us pressing this season, I thought, oh, that's good. Yeah, was Bayern Munich. When we first started that game against Bayern, I thought, oh, this is the Chelsea I know off the ball, bro. Our pressing this season, broski, it's been under par, bro. It's not been to the level
out of sync. I think it's just been out of sync.
It's not been great.
So I again, as much as it hurts all of us as Chelsea fans, it's better we go through this now than later 100%. On in the season.
So yeah, because last season it was a case of desperation, and it was a case of we started off well, then we went nosedive into hell. If you remember, we went on that period of just capitulation. Yeah, we can't let that happen again. It's better for this to happen now. Sort this out early, because again, the panic stations, and I want to mention this too. This is where the point that Miz mentioned, whether you look at things from a good standpoint or a bad standpoint, you're going to get attacked for whatever viewpoint it is. So fine, but I would rather have this now, whilst it's early, and the season is nowhere near done. Nowhere near. So then try and get onto some sort of form where everyone will eventually start feeling better, than to wait until later on for it to capitulate at the end where it matters most.
Yeah, and the thing is, these guys can actually. The good thing is, right? I'm even happy that we've got Liverpool before the international break. I'm even happier that it's at home. Yeah, because they have the power right now to change the narrative very quickly before we go on a 2-week break. Because you beat Brighton and you beat Liverpool at home again.
And you beat Benfica.
The conversations are different. Yeah, obviously Benfica as well. But the conversations are different.
Those chances need to be given.
The conversations are different. Right now, bro, obviously, listen, I'm not overly looking at the table. It's very early. You know, Arsenal are meant to be title challenging, but they're only 2 points above us, right? And then obviously Liverpool, they're 6 points above us right now. But we beat them and we beat Brighton. You know, potentially if they drop points against Palace, again, bro, you're right up there again. You might not have the belief right now that we're going to compete because of how we're playing, but that could be the shift in mentality, knowing that
I love this.
You know, the team that's the favourites to win the league. That could change the shift.
What a statement! What a statement!
You see you, Dan? You see you, Dan? You do this every year, you know. You do this every year. Oh, let's look at the table. If we do this, we do that. And then you galvanize the whole chat. And then at the end of the season, we're coming for your heads. No, not yet. How about we do this? How about we look at the next 2 games in front of us? Or let's look at the fixtures coming up that can actually change the turn of tide. Firstly, that Brighton game, we put on a performance against Brighton. That shifts.
Not firstly. Lincoln. You forget Lincoln, bro.
Bro, I'm not registered. Listen to me, Mr. Dunn. Listen to me, Mr. Dunn of London. I am not registering Lincoln because if we don't meet Lincoln, listen to me, Chelsea. We're not.
Let me tell you something. Do you know what Rob said yesterday as well? Do you know what Rob said? Rob said you won't be mad if we get knocked out.
Listen to me. I'll deal with Robert because I got.
We can't get knocked out.
Bro, if we get knocked out, I want all you guys live here tomorrow pronto.
I will deal with Robert tonight because I'm dropping my show tomorrow and it's after the Lincoln game, so I'll deal with that.
I'll send you the clip. You can play it, so you can play it, bro.
Let's seriously look at some of the fixtures because we need to win against Brighton just to switch our Premier League narrative, and we have to win against Benfica. I think a performance and a win against Benfica changes the Champions League narrative, and then suddenly we got 2 big wins under our belt before we go into that Liverpool game. So those are 2 matches that we need not only a win but a performance in, and then the narrative shifts. And if we somehow beat Liverpool at home, then we're on a different trajectory. But it starts with Benfica and Brighton for me.
No, 100%. I'm just saying that obviously I'm still looking at Liverpool because it's literally 2 game weeks away. Yeah. It's Brighton and then it's Liverpool, isn't it? At home. Then again another break. So it's coming quickly, bro. You know what I mean? It's gonna come around quickly, bro.
There's this point as well. It's look, this situation, like I just mentioned, what we had last season at the end. We done it. So we can do it. This is like Rocky 4. Yeah, where it looks like there's no chance, and he actually cuts him, and he's like, "You cut him, you cut him. You see, you cut him." I mean, you can do it. We've already proven to ourselves that, and that's before the window and before getting the players that we've got, like Pedro and Esteval and all these guys. We can do it. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's not like last season. The whole doubt of going into those games last season was like, no, we've just bottled these games. How the hell are we gonna get through these games?
Yeah.
We did. We already did that. So it's not like deep down we think, no, we're in the mud. We can't. No, we can. I'm not accepting that. We can. So let's.
We need to integrate Santos into this 11 as soon as possible. By the way, as soon as possible. By the way, because Lavia don't exist to me again. He don't exist to me again. I need to see Lavia fit for at least 3 months before I even start to talk about him. Yeah, he don't exist to me, bro. He'll play. Maybe he'll even come on against Liverpool or play against them. You won't see him again for another 2-3 months. You know what I mean?
Cameo roles, bro. Cameo roles.
Yeah, man. It's just annoying. It's annoying. You know, only Sunderland have more injuries than Chelsea right now, isn't it?
We're not doing this. Not doing this. I'm not doing this. Yes, injuries. No. I'm
not just looking at injuries. I'm just saying we're picking up a lot of injuries already, bro.
Yeah, that's why you're looking like really far into the future. I'm looking at when the Cole Palmer update comes. Forget
it dropped already. I think someone said it was 3 to 6 weeks.
How long is he out for?
3 to 6 weeks.
I want him to be out because I think we're gonna.
What?
If
you said that?
No, because if he continues to play the way he is with his injury, bro, he's going to be out for a longer period. I want this guy to be out for a little bit of time. I do, so that he gets it all sorted out because he's apparently playing with this nonsense injury for a long time. He took a break. It looks like he wasn't. He hadn't recovered from it. He came back. He couldn't compete against Man United, bro. I don't have any qualms if you were to take the remaining 2 weeks off plus the international break and come back fresh after. Just come back fresh after, please. Because, I don't want to take any chances. Super chat time. Assad, thank you, my man. Don't be negative. We have Club World Cup coach trust process. So today is the day where you had the chance. Today you want to do banter. Today you could have really put something out there.
He's definitely going to do this. He's definitely doing this. So it's fine.
Mujahid, thank you, my man. Appreciate that. John, team is good enough to beat Man U. Talk about Maresca. We have, and there's been good talks, pros and cons. Papa Beard, thank you. It's not reactionary, but Maresca ain't it. Look, I'm not going to say he's, because I have started to see a lot of people flip on him, and I've seen Eunice did a video that people questioning Maresca, this, that, the other. Fair enough. And I think we've questioned as well, but I don't think we're at a position to get rid of him yet. Not yet. No way.
Who are we bringing in?
Yeah, sweeping statements right now are a bit mad. You can criticize him right now, but to make a sweeping statement like that, a bit mad.
Yeah, it's mad. Kasim, Maresca sent a message to the board with the subs. Enough with sending messages. I need people to get on with it.
To be fair, I don't hear that because again, it's only September and those 2 players are new. So that's our perspective. You can look at it as well.
Yeah.
No, so solutions were there on the bench. I don't think you sabotage the entire game to send a message. You send a message in the press conference. Yeah, maybe that is a message for sure. But that's where the message is going to be made. It's not going to be made like that.
I'd rather chat that up to him just not trusting them because they're new to the system.
This is where you have to think rationally and not so extreme, because like that, there's no manager in that would do that unless if they know they're about to get sacked. This is not the case.
Yeah,
I truly believe Maresca took the coward approach against Man United, and I want him to change that. And this is why I put the title: "Coward behaviors need to stop." We don't need to do this. J-Mac, thank you so much. After the weekend, I'm in the beginning stage of grief. Beginning stage of grief. What I need is United away in the FA Cup to right this wrong.
No,
Wow,
No,
this guy wants one
no,
more trip to Old Trafford.
no.
No.
Manchester's not seen me again. Like to go
No,
watch.
you know what? No,
If we
no,
play
you know
Manchester
what?
only in
I want
London,
it.
only in
I'm
London.
for it.
revenge.
I'm for it. I'm for it. I'm
I'm
for
with
it.
you, Eunice. I want that smoke.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
for
not
it.
again.
I'm
I'm
for
not
it.
coward.
For it.
Only in London.
I'm not
Only in
forward.
London.
Bruv, there's nothing to lose. There's actually
Neutral
nothing to
venue.
lose.
Neutral venue. Neutral.
Matisse, no.
No.
We're going to war.
No. I'm
We
for
are
it.
going to war again.
Neutral.
I'm
ready.
for it.
Nah,
I'm for it.
yeah.
We
No,
go
no,
there.
no,
No,
no.
we go there and we're serious. We're winning. Simple as that, bro. Like that. No.
I'm not doing it again, bro.
Bring
I
it.
think that
Bring
place is cursed, bro. I'm not doing that, bro.
Bring
There's
it.
something wrong. Even when these guys are having World War II records and they seem to pull out victories, no, cut it, bro. Neutral venue us. Play in Romania. I'm happy to
I'm
play in
Siemens and
Romania.
Romania.
I'm punching.
Leave
I'm
England
playing.
out together.
I'll play in
You man want to sacrifice a whole trophy for your revenge. I'm not on it.
No,
I'm not on
man.
it.
No,
at all.
we ain't sacrificing a
No,
trophy,
no.
bro. We go there,
No,
we
no,
win,
no,
bruv.
no.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
you
nothing
know-
Yes,
there,
bro.
bruv.
And it's a
no,
cup
no,
competition.
I'm on it.
No,
And
we
it's
don't
a,
do
I'm
that.
and it's a
so on
cup
it.
competition. The
No,
best
no,
cup
no.
team in the world. I'm ready.
Eunice, you know what? I was like that. I'm on it. But after what I saw, nah. Neutral
No,
venues.
because look, it's one thing. It's one thing.
Lisbon.
It's one
to
thing,
Bucharesti.
bro.
Do you know
If
what I mean?
the opposition has completely like done what they've had to do to beat you, and you don't have an answer, fair enough. But we shot ourselves in the head. Like if we don't do that and we aim the gun correctly, yeah, we're winning the game. So no, yeah, bring it. I want smoke. Send us back to Old Trafford.
I'm right there with you. I need a win. I need to be shameless for a whole year.
Have to.
1 week.
That's fine. Matisse. You can stay. You
Big-
can stay back. We'll go front line. We'll go.
I'm only
guns
doing
blazing.
Premier League aways at Old Trafford. All other competitions are null and void. I'm not doing it. I'm only doing this once a year. I'm not feeling this twice a year, 3 times a year. Once.
Have
You know what?
man
I'm
like
with
KG
you,
call
bro.
you randomly.
It's a
I'm
disgrace.
actually with Matisse. I'm worried. Robert, the big Robert, is in the building. Do you know what? One of these days, I might have to bring Robert on because, yeah, I think it'll be a nice different views. Pep got no right back, no left back, no backup right wing, backup left wing, or backup striker, but he ain't crying. He's still setting up them to win. He had Doku playing striker. Whoa, Robert. Am I sensing some complaints from you?
He's not happy with the manager at all.
No, he is
He's
not.
not happy.
Whoa.
He
We
is,
will talk later,
he is,
brother.
he is,
Whoa,
he-
whoa,
he's
whoa,
We will
not.
talk later,
He's
brother.
not happy at all. He's not happy at all.
Don. I mean,
He's
sorry, Robert. I'm not
cussing.
putting you-
He's
No, and to be
cussing.
fair,
Because you know why? Because Garnacho didn't come on, and this brother loves Garnacho, bro. He's fuming, bro. He built up in his head, yeah. He built up in his head. Garnacho's gonna play against Man United. He's gonna show everybody why I wanted Garnacho, why he's the best. Da, 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 da. This manager whispered. He did Chinese whispers with Garnacho for 50 minutes. Didn't even bring him on. Didn't even
Bro,
bring him on.
Bro, I saw that and I lost my head.
Didn't even bring
This
him
man
on.
had a whole 20-minute conversation with Garnacho only to see Tyreek John come on.
Yeah, that's mad. That's
crazy.
actually mad.
I want to
crazy.
mention
I
about
know
this,
he's
this
fuming,
point.
bro.
He's right. He's right because did you see that Arsenal City game?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Pep done the one thing that he had to do, but the one thing that I never thought I'd see him do.
Yeah.
Right? He tactically something had to give because, like I
Yeah.
said, I thought like he was getting figured out. No matter what players he's got there, but they were getting outplayed. He went to a defensive system, but like he
Yeah.
went to like full Jose Mourinho. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, Pep,
Deep block.
I never thought I'd see the day. And you know what? It worked. City played it to a T. They done it beautifully. And I was like, I'd never thought I'd see City play this way and actually execute it up until the 93rd minute where they let in that goal. But for the whole game, they bossed playing that way. But that's Pep showing an example of doing what you have to do with what you've got. Maresca has to do the same thing. I'm not saying Maresca has to park the bus, no, but Pep managed to get his team to play away to go and get a result, which he nearly did.
Yeah.
With us, I believe there's other ways to do it, and Maresca needs to know how to go and do it, bro.
100%. 100%. Robert, I'm very shocked. You're starting to change, which is very, very strange.
We will talk later, brother. Trust me. That episode will drop tomorrow.
Yeah,
We'll
no,
talk
no,
later.
100%. Matisse, I'll let you go, bro. We just got a couple of more super chat. I'll let you go now, bro. Thank you, Matisse. Appreciate that, bro.
Big up in a bit, brothers.
Nice one, Matisse. In a bit, bro.
Big up.
Take care. We've got Don back. Okay, we've got a few more super chats and we'll wrap things up. Assad in the building again. You're a disgrace, ma. You just for Matisse.
Just left. He won't know. He will never know.
You will never know.
But Matisse, I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened. You are a disgrace, Matisse. You have high standards for Arsenal and United managers. Comes to the blood fraud you blame directors the last 3 games on him. Look, yeah, I feel like Maresca could do a lot more. Could do a lot more with what he has. And right now, he's not. And ultimately, he's going to find himself in trouble because owners are not sacking themselves and directors are not going anywhere. So how much do you care about your job, Maresca? How much do you care about your job? Real told Alonso, F your woke system. Use the players we have, and I watch Barcelona kids cook Newcastle this manager game in management. Shit, sack him. Look, I don't think it's time to sack him as yet. We're far off it, but things change rapidly. Maresca treats football like it's rocket science. We don't have bumps. We have young, really talented players who need to be nurtured in their positions.
You wouldn't think that Gil came from Barcelona the way people talk about him. And I'm telling you, if he was still there, because they use their academy, if he was still there, he would be playing for their first team.
Look, I mean, so many of the other academy players are playing for them. Do you know what I mean? Fermin Lopez is now playing for them. Mark, what's his name? Mark Casado or whatever his name is.
The centre back. Yeah.
Oh no, that's Kobasi. There's another midfielder.
Sorry, yeah.
There's another midfielder.
Fermin Lopez, bro. Fermin Lopez. Isn't he from
Fermin Lopez? Yamal. Where did he come from?
Exactly.
You know
Ty, thank you so much. Same shit, different season. It's boring. I need. We can't go back to those days again. Eunice, brother, we're gonna wrap things up. What's coming up? Talk to us, bro. Thank you for another fantastic show.
Yeah, man. Big up to everyone. The chat as well. Everybody there, much appreciated. Review for the Lincoln Chelsea game tonight. Let's hope it's a result. I'd be shocked if it's not. It should be. So there's that. Over on Shootout, we're doing the watch-alongs for it, and I think in the lead up to the weekend, this is going to be keeping up the latest, and I'll give my thoughts, and then the preview for the game on the weekend against Brighton. So that's it, really.
To the live chat, please make sure you subscribe to the Shootout. I'm actually going to put the link on the description as well right after this. So make sure you guys give that some love as well, just the way you give all of us a love. Help the Shootout as well. Javon, what you got coming up, bro?
Another episode of the Sideline View should be recorded tonight and dropped tomorrow. After the Lincoln game, so we'll discuss everything Chelsea there, and you'll get to hear from people like Marshall from Casually FC and Robert himself. So there's a lot of things that needs to be answered, and we'll talk about things in further depth there. Match review for Brighton coming up, and then next week we should be back with another episode of the UCL night. So lots of content, and you can catch me on the Yardman show, and where else I choose to. I'm going to be on Dan's channel, not this Dan, but Husam, where we talk about Liverpool versus Chelsea, coming up on 2 p.m. Coming up at 2 p.m. So watch me go over there and try to defend this nonsense for the last 2 days. So like, share, comment, subscribe, and road to 2,000 subscribers, and then 3, and then 10. So
come on, man, come on. Don, what you got coming up, bro? Talk to me.
Big up, man. Good chat, people. Review like Eunice later, people. So look out for that one. If you haven't seen my review already for the United game, you can go see that, bro. I was fuming. That was outside the stadium, so go watch that one, people. I'm nearly on 9.1k as well, so road to 10k soon come. Make sure that you lot are subscribing to the channel, man. But yeah, a lot more content coming this week. Obviously, Friday I'll do the preview with Ryan, as long as he's free. So Ryan's the big Brighton fan. I tend to get him on. Thursday I'm looking to do another show as well. I just need to put a little panel together. But yeah, just subscribe to the channel, people, man. Big up.
Awesome. I'm going to quickly just share Don's review for the Man United one. So guys, make sure you give that a watch. Let me just quickly put that in the chat, and I'll also put it in the description. Don's Man U review. All right, guys, give that a watch.
My Manchester United review is also there, so check that out.
I'll put that. I'll definitely put that in the description. So don't worry, I'll sort all of that out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I know it's been a long one, but it had to be a long one on this because of all the nonsense that took place. But we shall see you guys same time, same place, God willing, next week. Hopefully, it's a better week. If not, until then, take care. Bye.